neck on freeze, make my dog breathe.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Good evening, sports fans. This is 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith. In this game, we'll see Toronto against Orlando.
Welcome, everyone, to NBA basketball here on 2K Sports. Tonight, it's Noche NBAB, a celebration of the amazing Latin culture in this league and its fans all around the globe. A great tradition we get to enjoy. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. DA will join us tonight on the sideline. Looking at the last game for the Orlando Magic, it was a loss.
Yeah, they gave up in that one. The defense constantly breaking down way too many times.
Yep, and that's not a winning performance. I mean, you got to tighten up the defense moving forward if you're going to get some W's.
Let's check out Toronto's starting lineup. They've got Jimmy Butler, Plumlee out there with Aaron Gordon. Then it's Chris Paul, and it's Musa in at the 2 spot. And Chris Paul still looking for his first title. This Rockets team represents his best shot, Clark, but last year they couldn't quite get it done.
Well, the big reason for that, Kevin, was the fact that Chris Paul was unable to play in Game 6 and 7 against Golden State. He was so instrumental in key moments throughout that series. Had they had him in Game 6 and 7, I think they very well could have been playing for a championship last year.
5 to shoot. Bellinelli with the 3. Good on the triple. Bellinelli's got himself on the board with 3 there.
This is where Bellinelli burns you the most now. He's as reliable as it gets from behind the arc.
Paul against Rubio. Now here's Paul. He's coming off a 10-point game again.
And not just the scoring. It was also how fierce he was on defense, grabbing 3 steals on the night as well.
And Paul with the good touch on the floater. Guys, that's a difficult shot to make, that floater, but it's one of his many go-to shots.
Now here's Rubio. He's averaging a bit over 5 points a game. Nowitzki up top over Gordon. And it's Nowitzki missing.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Paul finds Gordon. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
You know, it's funny, guys. I'm still not sure that Chris Paul gets enough credit for just how special he is as a player. I'm not sure why that is. I mean, very few players in league history have been able to impact the game at both ends of the floor at his elite level.
Now, here's Rubio. Back to Bellinelli. Passes it to Nowitzki. Fades back. The shot that time, not on target. Now, Toronto takes it the other way. And you look at Chris Paul's numbers, they stack up to any point guard that's ever played the game. Clark, what do you think is the most underrated part of Chris Paul's game?
Well, I would think it would be his defense and his perimeter shooting. I don't think he gets the credit for being the perimeter shooter he is, but defense would stand out to me.
The Magic trail by 5. Rubio taking his time here. 56 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Pass to Zubac. Here's Bellinelli. Toronto grabs the miss. And this game, the first chance they've had to see Orlando.
And while they swept the season series against them last year, making it pretty clear how much separation exists between the two teams.
Yeah, Greg, I mean, one is a playoff team. The other, question mark, ... not so much. But things change, and you're only as good as your last win, so we'll see how they handle things tonight.
Here's Paul. Jimmy Butler making his last shot. Paul outside. And the pass to Musa. And the powerful one-handed slam.
And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screen play. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, that took the defender right out of the play.
And so it's Toronto. Chris Paul, an elite defensive player, astute.
The steals thing is just...
You hear about the importance of watching film, Greg. It reveals itself in many ways.
And learning guys' habits. What they like to do gives him a knack for when to go after steals without hurting his team.
And as we return, it's Noche Latina, celebrating the NBA's connection to the Latin American community. And guys, what's your take on Toronto so far?
Well, already in the first period, they found ways to get this offense ramped up.
Yeah, nice beginning so far. This is how you play out of the gate.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, as the second quarter gets going. So for Toronto right now, we've got Gordon. He's out there with Plumlee. Jimmy Butler is out there with Paul. And it's Musa in at the 2. Obviously, the game is played with a more wide-open style now, Clark. Name a few old-school bigs who continue to make an impact.
Well, I like what Andre Drummond does. The big fella's a glass-eating machine. Still needs to refine his moves and shooting touch, but his athleticism and rebounding off the charts. Blake Griffin stands out as well. Highly skilled, very, very athletic. Steven Adams, obviously a big guy who plays an old school game, rim protector, finisher, good hands, great strength. Dwight Howard, you know, he's on the backside of his career, but you think about what he was able to do in his prime as a shot blocker, rebounder, finisher. He's got some old school qualities as well.
And it'll be Orlando with their first time out of the game right here.
And, you know, one of the areas where the Orlando Magic struggled was with consistency, but not only on the floor, but across the franchise. A lot of coaching turnover the past decade.
Now we get a chance to check out the seeding out east. 4 games left on the schedule here. Look at Toronto. Right now, the 6th best record in the conference, looking to hold on to playoff position and finish the regular season strong. And, of course, there's the Magic, down 5 spots from them.
And I think for Toronto, they've stayed right there, just in sniffing distance of the conference leaders. That's a solid accomplishment at this stage of the season.
You know, I thought maybe they'd have it in them to actually join those leaders this season. But you're right, it's still nice work considering where they are.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
And Rubio kicks to Zubac. Plumlee with the rebound. And the Magic have gone through a lot of coaches, as you said.
Yeah, lack of continuity at that position can really derail any momentum you're attempting to build. And the same can be said about their players. A lot of trades and turnovers with the roster. That's not a recipe for consistent success.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
And Ricky Rubio gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him. And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far.
See, that's the defense you get with Rubio. At 6'4", with a really high basketball IQ, he finds a way to bother shots.
Ball's knocked loose. Zubac the pass to Rubio. Nowitzki kicks to Bellinelli. Four on the clock. Another miss by Orlando.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Parsons outside. Pass to Zubac. Looks for Nowitzki, gets it to him. He gets it in there.
Love how Nowitzki goes right up with it when he's this deep. I mean, not giving the defense any time to react.
And so it's Paul with it, bringing it up for Toronto. Only giving up 2 points this quarter. He kicks to Plumlee. Toronto working the ball around now. To the paint. And it's slammed in by Plumlee.
You know, this is why they trust Paul to run the offense. I mean, he's so good at getting the ball to guys on time and on target.
4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Bellinelli finds Zubats. Butler against Parsons. 5 to shoot. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. The Magic shooting their first free throws tonight. The first trip to the stripe in this one. First one falls for. Both free throws good from Parsons.
Well, he's come through for them at the line today, and you love having a big fella who's so capable on his free throws.
Paul for 3, and the last shot before the buzzer is off. And thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. So far, a pretty lopsided game. But well for Toronto. Kenny?
Well, they were completely in rhythm shooting the basketball. Just watching the flow of their offense, everything clicked into place. Fantastic shot selection. They took advantage of everything the defense gave them.
Check. Would you? And
welcome back, folks. The downtown skyline of Orlando, Florida, looking especially striking tonight. And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. The Magic trail by 14. Nowitzki is out there with Chandler Parsons. Then there's Bellinelli. Then it's Ivica Zubats. And it's Rubio in at the point. And that's the group for Steve Clifford as we begin the second half. Now here's Bellinelli. He's covered closely. 4 on the clock. Takes a 3. Hits it from three-point range. Bellinelli's got the first basket of the second half. That one for the Magic. Al Paul. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. Butler attacking. And the rejection by Zubats. Now here's Bellinelli. He's guarded closely. They get it back. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And there's the foul. It's called on Toronto.
Nowitzki's so good at filling out the defense and forcing them to foul him.
So he comes up empty, missing both.
You think of all the iconic players and the shots or moves associated with them. Hard to top Dirk in his one-legged fadeaway. I mean, it's one of the most unorthodox and most effective shots. And the fact that he's a 7-footer and does it that way, unique.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. Dirk Nowitzki still producing with that shot he made so famous. Clark has helped him stay dangerous even at this age.
You know, Kevin, for younger viewers of the NBA, it's hard for us to describe to them how good Dirk was. I mean, this guy could get off any shot he wanted. He was unorthodox and a bit quirky, but so effective. He could put it on the floor. He could post, had unbelievable range for a big guy. You know, when he hangs it up, there's no question he's first ballot Hall of Fame material.
Toronto leading by 13. To the middle, here's Butler. And it's Orlando with the rebound. Nowitzki's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Now here's Bellinelli, guarded closely. And Parsons kicks to Bellinelli. Orlando needs to get off a shot. And the basket by Rubio.
Gutsy play. I mean, with the defender in his face, Rubio never loses concentration.
For Toronto, they've gone 1 of 3 since starting the second half. Paul looking around. Gordon against Nowitzki. Now here's Gordon. He's tightly guarded. Some solid D from Nowitzki. Butler against Parsons. And here is Zubats. Kicks it out to Rubio. Lets it go from the wing. And that one hits back iron.
Well, I like the defense there. Right up in his grill, didn't give him a chance.
Here's Musa. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. Marco Bellinelli picks one. Toronto shooting their third and fourth free throw attempts of the game. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. We've got 1:13 left in the third. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Passes to Parsons. Kicks it to Nowitzki. Over Paul. Good on that shot, and with that, the Toronto lead is cut to just 11 points in the basket from Dirk Nowitzki.
Tell you what, Nowitzki really, he can fill it up from anywhere. You got to admire his scoring ability, including his mid-range game.
Paul with the ball. Guarded now by Rubio. Musa passes to Paul. From downtown. And again, no good by Toronto.
Well, you see the struggles he's having getting anything to go.
Yeah, I'm sure he's frustrated, Greg, because nothing is falling right now. But he's going to keep chipping away at it, and that's the attitude. Stay with it.
6 to shoot. Here's Rubio. And Dirk Nowitzki gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Paul. Misses there. And so it's Toronto. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Served him up a tasty room service dime right there, boy.
And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. On the court for Toronto to start the fourth, we've got Plumlee. Jimmy Butler is out there with Gordon, and it's Chris Paul, and it's Musa in at the two-guard spot. Clark, you had a tremendous college career, excluding yourself. Give me the best NBA player from your alma mater.
Wow. I would probably lean towards Jerry Lucas as the best player coming out of Ohio State. And then you look at his pro career, it was pretty solid as well. I thought Herb Williams had a fantastic and long pro career. John Havlicek maybe would rise to the level of the best NBA player of the group that came out of Ohio State. Jim Jackson is another name. Evan Turner still playing. But I think John Havlicek probably in longevity, championships, Hall of Fame stature, I think he may be the best NBA bucket.
I'm going to put Clark Kellogg in there too.
Oh, I didn't play long enough. Didn't play long enough.
And taking a quick look here, guys, at the hustle stats for Toronto.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Well, I was able to listen in on what Steve Clifford had to say to his team. He told them not to hold back. He said, I want 100% effort out there. If you can't give it, I'll get you out. No time to rest. Let's get after it. Ebony needs everything they've got.
Thank you, David. Back to Parsons. Just 5 to shoot. Pass to Nowitzki. Here's Zubats. And no good. Trying to use the glass.
And as he squares up for mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Yeah, I like the fact, Greg, that he crowded the shooter there, made him uncomfortable, got into his airspace a bit. Looked like he forced the shot.
Here's Musa. Lucky 7 drops in. He's perfect from the floor. 7 for 7.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
Rubio against Paul. Rubio finds Bellinelli. Now Nowitzki. And he uses the glass on the layup.
Well, he doesn't look that strong, but Nowitzki is a strong guy. I mean, easily getting off shots over aggressive defense there.
Rubio against Paul. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
Man, right play, wrong result on that one. Generally, you knock those down.
Not much else you can do there. I mean, that's what you want. Too bad they weren't able to finish it off.
Rubio against Paul.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for Toronto.
What an effort in the transition game we've seen tonight from these guys. Really pushed the ball, and I think in doing so created a lot of pressure on the defense.
Definitely had a huge edge, and this is their DNA. When they run the ball and dictate the flow of the offense like we've seen here, these are the kinds of games they can have.
And for the year now, they'll be tallying their 16th win. And so it's Paul with it, bringing it up for Toronto. 17-point lead, their biggest. Looking to get back on track here. He can't get that one to fall. So Orlando will take it the other way. Parsons outside. Rubio outside. We've got 28 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Goes up on the high post. Here's Zubac. Cross contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
Boy, I like seeing that toughness on the offensive glass. Did a nice job judging, anticipating where the miss was going, and then putting it back in. Nicely done.
With the prospect of making a big lead even bigger.
And you got to jump at this chance. Stretch that lead out as much as possible.
Paul with the ball. And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. This was a very strong show. David, thank you as always. And that about wraps it up.